It is 12 o'clock. We are officially going to start. Welcome to Stretch with a Leader. And Josh Rohatinsky is here. Josh, go ahead and share your camera. And we will just have you share your little 5-minute wellness thought. And then we'll go right into stretching. So take it away. First of all, tell us what your role is with Intermountain.
Yeah, happy to do that. Thanks, Don. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. And I'm actually going to share my screen as I speak to this, if that's okay as well. So I am let me know if you can see that. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Utah Valley Hospital. I've been with Intermountain Health for 10 years now. And that entire time has been spent down here at Utah Valley. And so I know a lot of the folks here, obviously, and a ton in the South Market, but unfortunately have limited exposure to some folks across the system. And so it's nice to see that we have, wow, 100 people on here. That's fantastic. So I appreciate Dawn and the invitation that I got here to just share my thoughts for a few minutes with you guys on being well and taking care of ourselves. And if you guys can see that slide, as I thought about this, and just coincidentally, I just got out of a meeting with my group of managers and directors, and we had a conversation. We do a quarterly leadership topic. And this quarter, we're talking about burnout and wellness. And these are a few slides that I shared with them looking at the elements on here on the outside of the circle. I like to focus on the four that I circled there because when I take care of myself, I am much more capable of doing a good job at work and being the husband and the father I want to be as well. And so I wanted to just speak to a few things that I do that keep me centered and keep me doing that. If any of you guys have read the book Essentialism, this is a chapter in that book and a principle that the author calls out. He says, protect the asset. And obviously, the greatest asset that we have is ourselves. And I love this quote from the book. It says, invest in yourself, mind, body, and spirit, so you can have the capacity to make your greatest contributions to others. And I think one of the pitfalls we fall into sometimes is that if we are taking care of ourselves, it feels and seems selfish. When in reality, as we take care of ourselves, we're better enabled to serve others and have greater capacity to make an impact on them as well. So for me, I am a very structured person. And that is difficult with my calendar sometimes, but I do like to fight as much as I can to have structure and balance in my life. And as I was thinking about this presentation, I wanted to call out a few things. Mental investments, investments in general, kind of in these four different areas. So on the mental side, one of the focuses that I have is not normalizing stress. And that's actually something new that a goal that I've put down for myself in 2025. I think a lot of us get to the point where we feel a certain level of stress, and it's probably more than we should be dealing with, but we're used to it and we normalize it. And so we don't recognize the impact it's having on us. And so one phrase that I've called out for myself is to find enjoyment in daily life instead of normalizing that stress. Physically, I know personally that if I take care of myself, three different areas, exercise, rest, and nutrition, I feel 10 times better and I'm able to come to work and be at my best and also have the energy that I need when I get home to make that quality time with my family. From a social standpoint, I know it's a phrase that we use all the time, but leaving work at work. I've gotten to the point where most of the time I've forced myself to just leave my laptop here because if I take it home, I am just not disciplined enough to keep it shut. And I want to be as present as I can with my family and friends, not only to have that life outside of work, but to make sure that when I come back the next day, I'm refreshed and ready to give my best. And then emotionally and spiritually, personally, just having a daily connection with my thoughts, with God, time that I can have to meditate and spend time just alone with my thoughts is really helpful. So for me, what this looks like is I have a schedule that I try to stick to as best as I can. And a lot of this begins before work. I had a conversation with my boss, Kyle Hansen, who's the market president down here in the South the other day. And he was asking me if I needed some more work days from home on Fridays. And I said, I'm actually pretty productive when I'm here at work on Fridays. There's not a lot of people around and I can get stuff done. But what I told him was the more important thing for me is that my day starts out right. And so I've worked with my admin and communicated this out to a few people that whenever possible, I need to have a good chunk of my morning dedicated to doing the things that you see there, working out, meditating, praying, and having a good breakfast. And that means sometimes that I don't get into the office until 9. Obviously, there's many times that we have meetings before then, and I make that happen. But whenever possible, if I have a balanced morning, that helps me out quite a bit. From a work standpoint, the more that I can align my personal life and my work life and just see my work as part of my life purpose and be engaged in that, that helps significantly as well. I mentioned after work just being present with my family and friends at home. And then the end of my day is important as well, right? I don't like to get up the next day and feel like I'm rushed to get things done and I'm stressed about the new day. And so I take time to prepare healthy meals, get my clothes ready for the next day, take a quick look at my calendar and identify what I need to do. And then that last hour, we have 4 kids. They're 16, 15, 12, and 9. And this is not easy to do. We're not always consistent, but we like to have that last hour before bed be quiet time, right? We're off screens. We're not, kids aren't doing homework. We're taking time to just sit in our bedroom. We're journaling. We're reading. We're doing some scripture study as a family. That's something we like to do. Taking a personal inventory of the day and just identifying things that went well and things that I could have done better, and then taking time, like I said, to pray and meditate. So, again, this is very structured and I don't always do it 100%, but I think it's important to still fight for that balance and do everything I can so that I'm taking care of myself and again, protecting the asset of myself so I can be my best when I come to work. So, Don, that's what I had to share. Hopefully, something there resonated with folks. Obviously, does not have to look exactly like this. Everyone's got their own things, but I think the main point is just being deliberate about it and making sure that you're putting yourself as the top priority.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you very much. And you talked a lot about time, and I definitely see time as an asset, and it's something we do need to protect for sure. So thank you. All right, we are going to go right into the stretch portion. And Josh, you are welcome to keep your camera on or turn it off. That's great. All right, we're going to stand up.
You guys don't need to see me stretching. I will do it, but I'm the least flexible person here, so.
No problem. No problem at all. All right. Our first movement, we are going to paint the fence. So if you've ever seen Karate Kid, you might resonate with this. We're going to reach the arms up and bend the wrists as we go up, and then we'll kind of swoop them down. Imagine that your fingers are a paintbrush. We're going to do it for 40 seconds. You're moving at your pace and within your range of motion for 40 seconds. So let's go. So you're bending your wrists, fingers down on the way up, and then fingers up on the way down. And you can pull your arms behind you. So just getting some gentle movement, finding your range of motion, and spreading through the hands. We're only going to do this one time, so do your best to reach through the arms. Chest is open. Big inhale as you reach up. We have 15 seconds left. I have everything on a timer so we don't go too far over time. 10 seconds. Inhale and exhale, spread through the fingers. Maybe it would feel good to just roll those wrists and wiggle the fingers behind you. And that's time. And we're going to go into hamstring sweeps. So we'll bring one leg out in front of us, heel down, toe up. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. It's a little dark on dark. We're going to hinge at the hips, swoop the arms down and up, and try to lean back. And then we'll switch sides. So let's go. Here we go. We're going to hinge at the hips, swoop down, get a stretch through that front hamstring, and reach up and back, and then switch legs. Again, moving at your pace and within your range of motion. Big breaths in and out as you reach. Hinging at the hips, feeling a stretch through the backs of the legs. and breathing deep. Even lift your chin, taking your head backwards if you feel like you can while maintaining balance. 3 seconds, 2, and time. All right, we're gonna go into alternating crescent lunge with cactus arms. If you've ever done yoga, you'll know what crescent lunge is. Basically, we're just gonna take a big step back, front knee bent, back leg straight, and we'll open up the arms, pulling the elbows down and back. So cactus your arms, squeeze up and back, and when you're ready, you switch legs. You can even bring your arms down and then swoop the arms up. But if you feel balance challenged, feel free to lightly touch something as you squeeze mid upper back to open up the front side of the body. If you sit all day, it is super important to open up the front side and strengthen the back side. Cactusing arms, feeling the hip flexor open up on that back straight leg. We are going to use the wall to help us stretch for our next movement. So find some space against your wall. We're going to just dip the chest down between the shoulders as we press the hands into the wall. So find some space. You can even use the back of a chair or the edge of your desk, but we're going to take the butt way back, press your hands into your surface, walk the feet back, take the butt way back, and try to dip your chest down between your shoulders. So almost like trying to get your chest to your thighs while trying to arch the back a little bit. Play around with it, and then if you want to come up, take a break, maybe you loop your shoulders. We don't want to overstretch or strain. And then you go back into it. We have 13 seconds left. Breathing in, breathing out. Butt goes back, so you're turning your sit bones up to the sky and pressing through the hands, and that's time. Okay, we're now going to do one hand on the wall. I'm going to move this way. So put your right hand against the wall, straight, hand straight out from the shoulder. So I just got my hand on the wall like this, straight arm, and I'm going to shimmy away from the wall and look over my opposite shoulder. I'm pressing my hand into the wall. I'm spreading my fingers and really pressing, turning my chin. Arm is straight. Breathe in, breathe out. And then when we've hit halfway, which we have, let's get ourselves more perpendicular to the wall. And we're just going to go straight up and over for a side stretch. Take a deep breath into your rib cage. Breathe in and breathe out. So this open side of your rib cage, think of your ribs spreading apart. Breathe in, breathe out. 3 seconds, 2, and time. Let's do it on the other side. So now left hand, I've got my left hand spread and pressed into the wall, but I'm straight out from that hand. I'm pressing, and let's shimmy away from the hand, shimmy away from the wall, and gently look over your shoulder. Shoulders are down, so you shouldn't feel all tight and scrunched up. Just move to your point of slight discomfort. It's okay to be a little bit uncomfortable. We're not trying to tear any connective tissues. So just be gentle to yourself. Breathe in, breathe out, and let's go for that side stretch. So I'm gonna just now face perpendicular to the wall, and we're going straight up and over. So think of opening that rib cage, that side. Breathe in, breathe out. And that is time. I'm gonna go into some quad stretches. Still using a chair, a desk, or a wall for some balance help. We're gonna take let's take the right knee up. We're gonna take it up and around, go into a quad stretch, and then we'll bring it up and in front and hug it tight. You can use both arms if you wanna practice your balance. Time is on. So we're just doing some hip circles, staying on this side, doing a quad stretch on the back, and then a hip circle to the front and hugging the knee up high and tight. Maybe you roll your ankle there. Use the balance help you need in whatever way, but try not to weigh too much of your weight into your balance help. When you go to that quad stretch, the knee points down, the hips push forward, the chest is open. 7 seconds. Abs are pulled in, you're standing tall. 3, 2, and time. All right, let's try it on the other side. We're almost done. We have this other side, and one more exercise, and then we will be done. So big hip circle, hugging the knee up. You can use one hand or two. You can roll your ankle. Find what feels good. You are the expert of your body. Let's go. So big hip circle, finding that foot, trying not to get a Charlie horse like I just did. Yikes. Quad stretch. Knee points down, hips push forward. And then when you're ready, you just do a circle to the front and hug the knee tight, high and tight. Roll the ankle, wiggle the toes. You're moving at your pace. Find what feels right in your body. Take some deep breaths. Balance is one of those things that just doesn't get better with age. So try to let go of your balance help as you hug that knee high and tight. And that's time. And our last movement, we're doing an upper body mobility exercise called screwdriver. So we're going to put one hand down, one hand up, and we'll kind of shift the rib cage to the up hand, towards the up hand, and look in that direction, and then switch. Look towards your up hand. We've shifted the rib cage, we've turned the head, and we're really reaching in opposite directions. And then when you're ready, you switch again. So my feet are staying anchored, and I'm trying to shift my rib cage as far over as I can without rounding forward. So stay tall, abs are pulled in, turn your chin. Breathe in, breathe out. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and time. Very good. Loop your shoulders up and back. I'm going to get your class code. And thank you, Josh, for joining.